welcome, is all I can say. She's black to the gills. We are at our limit, I do believe, for the fire code. Welcome everybody to this session of council for March the 18th. Before we adopt the agenda, I'm going to ask if there's any additions.
Yeah, I'll get a few things for you. Well, I know it can get added to tonight's meeting, but it can be put onto a committee or
Sure.
whatever's appropriate.
Yep.
The municipal symposium, May 1st to 3rd into Gander.
Yep.
Newcomers welcome package. And there's a toolkit available now for healthcare, welcoming healthcare providers.
Alright.
I sat in on a meeting with that today, and that is available. And also, there is funding that's available that ends March the 31st for $15,000 for recruitment and retention incentive.
Well, I suggest that due to the time restraint that you pass that along to the office
I
tomorrow.
will.
I guess there'll be consensus of council that we look into that because of the time restraint. Alright, can I get a motion to adopt the agenda with the additions? So moved by Councillor Smith, seconder.
Second.
Councillor Vincent. We've decided as council that rather than proceed with the business as usual, we'll suspend the agenda and go right to, I think what most people are here to listen to. So with that, we have some slides to show our transparency, and then I have a release from council.
So, we have a 2023 to early 2024 in review. As per our audited 2023 financial statements, budget was over by 34% on a $2.9 million budget. As in the minutes in May 2024, the deputy mayor noted our budget should stay around 70 to 75%, as there are budgeted items that are meant to go within a reserve for the water treatment plant operations. This was rejected, and the deputy mayor was informed the town would be staying within a 5% variance. In 2022 financial statements, there was a $441,730 surplus. In 2023 financial statements, there was a deficit of $9,531. The first time a deficit is seen since 2017. The town's budget should not reach 100%. Within our budget, there are departments labeled water treatment plant operations and water storage distribution tanks. Every year, we are to lock this into GICs to ensure growth and to make sure when in operation, it's not a shock to taxpayers. New-Wes-Valley was able to get this funding for the water treatment plant in 2019 because we were actively showing a financial plan. Committee meetings, where crucial information is discussed and are mandated, were cut back drastically. When chair members Councillor Hoyles and Councillor Best requested them, they were declined. The legislative amount of committee meetings are once every 3 months. Committee meetings are crucial to council being provided all information needed. For example, in a finance meeting, bank account balances and accounts receivable reports are to be presented. Rules of procedure for committee meetings as legislated by municipal affairs were not met, and items for a council meeting should not be brought in for decisions and motions night of. It's recommended to have conversations within your committee meetings. Are you able to live report?
I don't see any reason why not. I don't.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Facebook was shut down after councils requested it to remain up and running. A position for Marine Post Security Officer was offered to a resident without a job posting. No discussion was brought to a committee due to lack of meetings. The town of New-Wes-Valley was flagged for improper public procurement process in 2024 for the 2023 calendar year. Some findings listed below. Franklin Covey, a service not made for municipalities, nor a requirement under services, was signed on a 3-year agreement totaling $45,864.30. $15,288.10 per year. Not budgeted and not a required service. 3 quotes were not obtained. Hold on one second. Nor an RFP went to the public. Franklin Covey stated in an email they had not offered local government service government pricing for AAP, but still this was brought to council. As per the minutes dated February 6th, No monetary amount was presented to council, and a motion was requested within this report. Council trusted this was at no cost with the information they were given. This was then requested to be divided into 3 payments, staying within the spending threshold for management of $5,000, without having to obtain approval. The invoice was $15,288.10, not 3 payments of $5,096.03. Public procurement was not followed. In the minutes from February 6th, it stated a list of successes due to Franklin Covey. This is misleading. These successes were completed by current staff in this office with little to no experience with Franklin Covey. I will note, this has all been sent to a lawyer as well to confirm that it can be released. GICB roofing project, when it initially went to tender, 1 bid came in almost double what the town was funded for, and 2 others came in late. Proper procedures as per public procurement would have been to either de-scope the work, re-tender, or perform a limited call for bids to at least 3 contractors. This did not occur. Again, proper public procurement was not followed. A contract was signed between the contractor and a representative for New-Wes-Valley. Roads were approved and paved without a council motion or being made aware until after the fact via email, totaling $46,913.70. This was not budgeted. RFP nor limited call for bids or 3 quotes were put to the public. Proper public procurement was not followed. Computers were purchased for the town hall. RFP did not go out nor limited call for bids. Proper public procurement was not followed. Southwest Pond Park, there was a motion to approve a truck for $13,999. Council received an email shortly after to inform them the truck was purchased at a price of $22,499.03. There was no approval nor motion for the difference that was previously approved. Public procurement have all this information. This is public information. 2024 to 2025 budget. 2024 budget ended at 70% overall, allowing council to make up for 2023 GIC withdrawal, along with adding the budgeted 2024. 2025 budget for the month of March is sitting at 54% and annually at 13%. From May 2024 to now, there has been 10 Public Work Committee meetings, 13 Recreation, Tourism and Heritage, and 9 Finance meetings for a total of 32, more than what is required. This has ensured council are aware, review, and discussions take place before a decision on all matters. Current CAO requested that the threshold spending limit be cut in half to ensure no overspending. 2 staff members received public procurement training through Government NL. With the help of public procurement, a policy was drafted and adopted to ensure proper procedure is being followed. When an RFP, RFQ, tender of limited or limited call for bids is completed by the town, it is under review and recommendation by our lawyer and contact with the public procurement office. If a tender is short, there is a reason. And listed below are the last 9 tenders we have done. You can see they range from 1 page to 512 pages.
So those is how council are trying to be more transparent, as we have been, I don't know, accused, was questioned whether we are transparent or not. Now I will address the newsletter. First off, I want to say I've sat on council for 12 years, 3 elections and quite a few by-elections. I've seen councillors come and go, and I've seen councillors who keep volunteering their time over and over again. We sit here now with 9 councillors. These councillors give their time and effort to make this community better. Many volunteers, not only here, but with 4 or 5 other organisations, including Crystal Gliders, Salvation Army, CFDA, Biotic Minor Hockey, Ray of Hope, and the local fire department. This is to understand the public need within our municipality. We are good people who commit our time to this community with little or no reward. The council are the people. We're the voice for the people as a whole, as elected. I can say without a doubt and guarantee you, the majority of this council do not make a decision without taking into account the municipality as a whole. Yes, it may upset some councils who have to determine their decision based upon the town's financial standing, economic growth, sustainability, and much more. Residents are lucky to have us as we stand, and it disheartens me to see false accusations made and misinformation spread. With that being said, the first thing I speak on is the RFP for the arena and the incorrect information in this newsletter. The athletic arena faces a deficit every year, which in turn is paid through taxpayers' dollars. But not all taxpayers use the arena. In the last 5 years, that deficit has decreased substantially. But with this facility getting older, things have started to break. This year alone, to get the arena up and running, there was $60,000 in repairs required. When the town operated the canteen within the arena, there was an expense through payroll, ordering supplies, managing, and much more. Council chose for one season to move forward with an RFP for operations to in turn see revenue and allow office staff to look for funding opportunities for Biotic Arena and alleviate the deficit it faces every season. This month alone, the town has been able to get approved for $30,000 in funding to offer free programs and remodel the current bathrooms at Biotic Arena. The initial RFP went to tender and to the public on October 17, 2023, which you can see in our minutes. A former employee and council members met with two interested parties at that time, and it's noted within our November 22nd, 2023 minutes that further discussion with one party occurred. Multiple conversations took place with this party declining due to not being able to commit to the hours required by the town to accommodate tournaments and events during weekends. A third party came in interested, proceeded with a bid based upon the town's expectations, and it was awarded. The current RFP in this newsletter was discussed with both our lawyer and public procurement. After advisal from both parties, it was recommended to leave this RFP vague as it allows ample options and opportunities for those interested to come in with not only a bid price, but potentially something new the town may not think of. This is positive economic growth for our community. The town, as per the Towns and Local Service District Act and Public Procurement Act, are leasing a space to a business which is allowed. The CAO has received 4 calls from 4 interested parties on this RFP. Every single question they've asked was answered except yes. The price in which the space is currently being leased for, as per ATIP and the Towns and Local Service Districts Act, under closed meetings. B. Personal information that is protected under the Access to Information and Protection of the Privacy Act 2015. C. Information that could cause financial loss or gain to a person or the town or could jeopardize negotiations leading to an agreement or contract. Therefore, this is not information we are allowed to give. Council is not hiding anything. They are protecting all parties involved as we are legislated to do so. Leasing of space RFPs can be done multiple ways, even with some municipalities performing a limited call for bids, where they choose 3 companies to contact. Our municipality, to be fair and honest, chose to put it to the full public. I also want to point out in this newsletter that the comparisons of the RFPS is not sufficient. Richmond County has a population of 89,014 residents and a staff of 37 employees. The town of Gander has a staff of 35 employees and a population of 11,880. The town of New-Wes-Valley has a population of 2,000 residents and 10 staff members, including public works. The magnitude of request and service differ vastly. This town has completed 9 RFPs, tenders, RFQ, and limited calls for bids in the last year, with some being 1-page and others being up to 512-page documents. Tender details are based upon the service being offered or requested by the town. On to the next misleading portion of the newsletter, closed meetings. The graph comparison is not factual. After reaching out to these towns listed on the newsletter, the difference between the town of New-Wes-Valley and many other towns are that when they hold their closed meetings, they never occur during a public meeting. For example, the town of Gander's percentage of closed versus open meetings is actually 100% as they alternate their weeks. One week features an open meeting, the following they hold a closed meeting, and so forth. Therefore, there are absolutely nowhere to view. Closed meetings do not need to be made public. The town of New-Wes-Valley, to be transparent as possible, chose to hold these closed meetings within our public meetings. Though this allowed residents to say that yes, we hold them quite frequently. As per the Towns and Local Service Districts Act, Section 41, what is spoke in a closed meeting is listed. The newsletter does not list everything within Section 41 that falls under closed meetings. Now that we are on the topic of transparency, I want to bring us to a post that was made June 2024 informing residents to allow transparency. The town will be adding a section in our regular meeting agendas of council titled Questions and Concerns. These concerns will be reflected in the minutes to assure residents we wish to hear from and will allow concerns which you may have. It was also noted the person bringing forward any concerns or questions will be kept confidential to protect privacy and ensure a healthy, respectful conversation. They were asked to be submitted by the Friday before a council meeting to allow council and staff adequate time to answer and collect all information required. Since this time, we have held 16 regular council meetings and 6 special council meetings, but have only received one question. To speak on transparency and not instill in it in this newsletter is very disheartening, as none of these questions, concerns, or conversations have been brought to a council meeting. This newsletter has given council a disadvantage. Instead of having a cohesive, efficient, respectful conversation with all parties involved. The town hall is open from Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. and emails are received 24 hours. Correspondence is brought to council and follows the proper procedures of resolution or referral to the proper department for further discussion, as per legislative rule of procedure. To my knowledge, they are always answered. I want to correct a portion of this newsletter as it's very misleading. The CAO is quoting saying municipalities do not have stakeholders. This is completely taken out of context. To clarify that whole conversation, when speaking on the new development under Canadian Mortgage Housing Accelerator funding, Councillor Howell asked, when will we be reaching out to stakeholders to meet? The CAO statement was that as a town, we answer to residents, businesses, taxpayers, and the public body. Therefore, we do not have stakeholders. This is to reference that we, as a municipality, do not use that term. We speak for our community and all residences. She was not diminishing that the people of our town deserve a say and voice, because they 100% do. This was referencing the terms which are used within the Towns and Local Service District Act. For the time being, we will be using the terms residents, businesses, taxpayers, and people of our community. To council, this is a term which is more respectful and enduring, showing the people they are not just a stakeholder, but a person and voice within our community. Lastly, there is a decorum of meetings and a legislative way they are to be conducted. There are time frames council have to follow in order to conduct a meeting, included limits in the amount of time for one topic. If the topic has no resolve, it is referred to the proper committee for further discussion. This process ensures that before any decision is made, ample conversation and research is completed. I, as a resident, would hope that my council would complete a longer discussion and review before putting forward any resolutions. Resolutions without discussion should not be the night of a council meeting. This lacks ample review for important resolutions. This has nothing to do with transparency, but is the municipal legislation. This council has gone above and beyond to accommodate residents during our minutes to the limits which we can. I ask that you look at other municipal council meeting minutes, such as the town of Glovertown, the town of Springdale, and the town of Gander. And you will see that the town of New-Wes-Valley includes more details than any of those. We, as council and staff, have been called names you cannot even imagine. Educations questioned and threats made from the public. We still show up every day with the best interests of this community because we want the best for this community. And there are good people within it. Council wants to know, we do not fault citizens for having concerns or for creating a newsletter. We welcome them. But to get a professional, positive outcome, we need to not only look at the things council and staff are being accused of doing wrong, but also note all the positives which have happened within this municipality. Town council and staff want to work with our residents, but if they hide their concerns on our newsletter and put out false and misleading information instead of following proper legislative procedures, it makes it very, very hard to hold a positive, conductive meeting. There are legislative procedures for a reason. We're here to work for the people. We may not appease them all, but please be kind. I think that addresses the issues that were brought up. If anybody has any questions or concerns following any of that, feel free to send an email to our staff, send a question for the questions and concerns. Under the Municipality Legislations Act, we can't have a question and answer. It's not what is allowed, it's not proper procedure. As much as sometimes I would love to have that, it's not what we're technically allowed to do. And God help me if I do something I'm technically not allowed to do. So we'll continue with our council meeting as the agenda states, with the regular meeting of council for March the 4th, 2025. Can I get a motion to adopt the regular meeting of council for March the 4th, 2025? So moved by Councillor Tucker. Do I have a seconder?
Second.
Councillor Hoyles. I'll give everybody a minute to go through the meeting of March 8th, or March 4th, sorry.
I'm not used to the paper, I have to go back to my.
You go back to your tablet, Councillor Vincent, it's no problem. Logged on all right?
I'd like to make a correction to minutes.
Sure.
Page 6. It said, at the bottom of the page here, Councillor Hall requested resolution 25/47 be amended. I didn't ask that it be amended, I asked a question.
Alright,
If, with the motion 23/346, did that make the motion 25/47 null and void? That was the question. I didn't ask that it would be amended. And once it was explained that it was two different things, that I understood it.
I think originally though, it was asked to,
If the motion was not before.
yeah, it was asked to be amended first.
Not by me.
My understanding was.
No, it was a question, Councillor Smith.
You
Did
asked-
one
you asked
rule
for
out
it to
the
be
other? That's my
amended,
question.
alright,
And I told you you weren't able to make that motion.
I wasn't making a motion.
alright,
You
well,
had a previous session for this discussion, and then when we came out of it, you asked if the amendment was being done, if you were going to amend it. Do you remember, John?
yeah,
You
so it
amended
was,
it.
yeah.
John was gonna make it, and then.
Yes, and I
Councillor
brought it
Smith-
up, and I brought it
Councillor
up,
told
and
you you
from
were in
that,
conflict,
yeah.
and then Councillor Smith said, can you read out the motion for it?
Yes, because we needed some clarification
And
on exactly
that's
what
on
was,
that as well.
what we were going to amend.
Alright, any other questions, concerns from the minutes? Bearing none, all in favor? Carried. The adoption of minutes from the special meeting of council held March 11th, 2025.
So moved.
Thank you, Councillor Vincent, seconder.
Second.
Councillor Hoyles, do I have any questions, concerns from the special meeting of council? Excuse, Councillor Vincent. If there are none, I'll ask for a vote. All in favor? Carried unanimous. We shall go with the committee reports. Councillor Besh, you're up with Finance and Administrative Committee.
Thank you, Councillor. Everybody in the minutes, and all weekend had a chance to read it.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to start with the motions. Make a motion to resolve to proceed with the quarter one pay of $2,347.79 for RRSPs and $6,980 for council and the fire chief's stipends.
Motion on the table by the Chair of Finance, Councillor Besh, seconded by Councillor Tucker. Any questions, queries, concerns? Barring none, all in favor? Carried.
I'd like to make a motion now to proceed with the approval to operate for a new business located at 22 Main Street, Newtown. Whimsical Driftwood Art.
I'll second that.
Motion been made by the Chair of Finance and seconded by Councillor Howell. Any questions, queries, and concerns about our whimsical business?
Yeah, maybe.
Yep, Councillor Vincent?
Business exempt tax, new business exempt tax, is that, tax exempt? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, new business,
Is that automatic, or do they have to request it? Automatically apply, application, they have to apply, okay.
So I guess we'll make that known to them so that they can get the proper application set up. Thank you for the question, Councillor Vincent.
And we gotta go through any departmental report.
Yes, depending, oh yeah, it'd be approval, depending on departmental approval, yes. Make sure the permits are all in order and that they're operating in the right zone and all that stuff. So- We'll make a note that that motion is depending departmental approvals, Madam Scribe.
All in favor?
All in favor? Carried, thank you.
I'd like to make a motion now to proceed with the approval for new business tax incentive for STURP 004, providing that the business is established under its own incorporation.
Seconded by Councillor Tucker. I got a motion in order from the Chair of Finance and seconded by Councillor Tucker. Any questions, queries, concerns on the motion? Hearing none, all in favour? Carried.
I'd like to make a motion now to proceed with the 2025 cleanup week for June the 2nd to the 6th, 2025.
Put it on your calendars, people. June the 2nd to the 6th.
That's not activated the calendar.
There we go.
On our website as well.
Seconder to that.
Second.
Second by Councillor Oils. Any questions, queries, concerns on the cleanup?
Are we just having the one cleanup this year?
This, yeah, savings is astronomical, yeah. Barring no more questions, concerns, queries, all in favour? Good.
I'd like to make a motion now to decline to donate requests from the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary Association for the 35th Annual Community Guide.
I don't think we've ever donated that one. Seconder?
Second.
So a motion in order by the Chair and seconded by Councillor Vincent. Any questions, queries, concerns? Barring none, all in favour? Carried.
I'd like to make a motion now to...
Just to add, sorry that I missed the opportunity, just by
Yep,
way of
okay, so hold.
explanation. By way of explanation, you know, we have a number of those requests that come in from all over the province, from many organizations. But we basically said that we stick to contributions and donations to our community, and those that are strictly related to anything that, you know, that we've had issues with over the years, like the Janeway, for example, you know, is one organization, and the schools program, these kind of things, that's within our community versus outside. So,
Councillor Oils, I think last year we did give to Constabulary
Could be.
for one reason, because this year, with the new cenotaph down there, we're hoping to have a full page advertisement.
Oh,
With-
yeah.
There's only so much money to go on.
All right,
Okay.
Councillor Vincent, or Councillor Vincent.
Okay. Did we go now?
All in favour? Sorry, Councillor S. Carried.
We did go on, actually.
yes.
I'd like to make a motion now to proceed with the adjustment on account HOYLE 008 for business tax in the amount of $3,544.99.
Seconder to the motion.
Second.
Second by Councillor Vincent. Motion's in order by the Chair and a second by Councillor Vincent. Any questions, queries, concerns? Barring none, all in favour?
Okay.
Carried.
Just before the meeting here, now the committee just went over the accounts payable, and everything seems like it's in order, so I'd like to make a motion now to pay the accounts payable in the amount of $104,598.23.
Motion's in order by the Chair. Do I have a seconder?
Bills to be paid.
Bills getting paid. Any questions, queries, concerns on the bills getting paid? Barring none, all in favour? Carried.
Right, now I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the Finance Administration Committee recommendations and report as presented.
Do I have a seconder?
Second.
Second by Councillor Vincent. Any questions on the rest of the finance report that is not, took care of the motions? Barring none, all in favour? Perfect, thank you, Councillor Vincent, and your committee. Next we have Public Works and Protective Services under the direction of Councillor Hoyles. You're up, sir.
One of the meeting,
All right, sir.
the office is very busy with all the work over the last 2 weeks, and there didn't seem to be very pending items that we need to deal with right away.
Thank you, sir.
So hopefully, our next week, our next regular meeting will be on schedule.
Thank you, Councillor Hoyles. The fire chief is making a motion.
I need your keys, you got some regarding. Okay.
That's on the garden.
I'm not strong enough to lift up back.
It's a motion for Councillor Hoyles to move this now.
The AC AC is not working very good.
Is it on AC or is it just on?
On AC, yeah. Same as old, huh?
Come out there.
Oh, yeah. Thanks on 22.
Councillor Gill, let us know he's in Indian Bay. He's on his way over to the dialysis, he won't be joining us.
Put it on 18, just go to let me know.
Alrighty, minutes of the Recreation, Tourism and Heritage Committee. Councillor Howell?
No,
Smith, sorry. Mr. Gill, got distracted.
Okay, motions that are required. Number one, be it resolved that to adopt the alcohol and events policy, rental policy as presented.
Seconder for the motion. Second by Councillor Tucker. Any questions or concerns for the chair? You chair have something
Let's come from the states.
Barring no more questions, all in favor? Carried.
Number two, be it resolved to proceed with the online and PDF nomination form for volunteer appreciation week.
we move it, we'll
Yeah, sorry, no problem. Seconder for the motion?
Second.
Councillor Howell?
Yeah, we move it, well, after it's passed tonight,
Yeah.
or?
She has it ready to go.
Any more questions on volunteer appreciation? Barring none, all in favor? Carried.
Number three, be it resolved to proceed with the purchase of supplies for the color run at Southwest Pond Park at the cost of $1,400.
Do I get a seconder for that?
Second.
Second by Councillor Vincent. Any questions? So that's the colour run that happens at the Crowd Festival?
Yeah.
Any more questions? Barring none, all in favour? Carried.
Number four, be it resolved to proceed with moving 2 campers to the overflow area for the purpose of beach development at Southwest Pond Park.
Do I have a seconder for that? Second by Councillor Tucker. Any questions? So that'll be 2 seasonal sites that are there now are gonna be moved somewhere else?
Yes.
So is-
An overflow area.
So that's gonna decrease the number of seasonal sites, or is that,
No.
those seasonal sites will move somewhere else?
They're moving them, so I assume that they're.
Yeah, they're going in the overflow.
Yeah, they're going in the
So when the
overflow
beach is
spots.
finished, will the campers go back to these places
No.
again, or?
No,
No.
There's only one big beach.
yeah, 2 separate areas.
2 separate beaches.
Alright, any more questions? All in favour? Carried.
Number five, be it resolved to proceed with creating a second beach and to install new playground equipment in the overflow area at Southwest Pond Park.
Seconder.
Second.
Second by Councillor Vincent. Any questions, queries, concerns? Barring none, all in favour? Carried.
Number six, be it resolved to proceed with a food service tender for Southwest Pond Park during the summer.
Seconder.
I'll second that.
Second by Councillor Howell. Any questions, queries, concerns?
Okay, was this happening to, is it going to be in the building up there, or?
We talked to the trolley.
We talked to some food truck.
Yeah.
We talked to their truck, we talked to
Yeah.
their trailer, we talked to the room that's up there not being used. So there's many different things.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get some kind of,
So what I'm saying,
different options.
okay, so if you use the room up there, what you're saying, scenario where they would stay in, rent it?
Same thing.
That process would need to go through inspection probably first, because it's not commercial.
Yeah, it's not a commercial ditch.
So I
I
think
don't
that
think
was
it's
when
trouble.
they.
Yeah, we'll be a better scenario, yeah. We'll be a better scenario. Any more questions on the growth? Barring none, all in favour? Carried.
Number seven, be it resolved to not proceed with full-page ad in the upcoming Down Homer magazine at the cost of $1,250 and to revisit next year.
Second.
Second by Councillor.
agreement to that one.
Chair of Finance wants to save money. Any questions, queries, concerns? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried.
Number 8, be it resolved to proceed with funding of $9,600 from the year of the sport be used for free general skating, parent and tot skate, and public special event skating.
Seconder,
Second.
by Councillor Tucker. It's a wonderful way to use it.
So what's this money we got some other way?
Yeah, that's part of the 30,000 for the stadium. Any other questions, queries, concerns? If not, all in favor? Carried.
And lastly, be it resolved to adopt the recreation, tourism, and heritage report as presented.
Any questions or concerns coming to the report that are not? Oh, sorry, second.
Second.
Councillor Best, thank you. Any other questions, concerns that was not covered in the motions? Barring none, all in favor? Carried. So, after committee meetings are done, we shall go into correspondence. We have one motion that needs to be approved, and the rest are gonna go to the committees. So I need a motion to approve or decline a new build located at 8B Island View Avenue.
So moved.
So moved by Councillor Best, seconder.
I'll second.
Councillor Howell, any questions? So of course, this is all based on departmental approvals, everything has to be,
Are we approving or declining?
Okay.
thank you, Madam Scribe, yes, that's good. So we have a motion to approve the new build located at 8B Island Avenue. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor? Carried. Be it resolved to adopt the correspondence summary report for March 18th as presented.
So moved.
So moved by Councillor Vincent, seconder
Second.
by Councillor Best. Any questions, queries, concerns?
Are we listing in what came in under correspondence?
Sure we can. We
I
have,
think we should. No.
no, not the names, no. We have the new build, we have year-end claims for municipal infrastructure program, we have an arena agreement, we got a business tax, we have residential septic issue, we have monthly crime statistics, we have Facebook versus website, and the newsletter. And yes, there are people's names there, so we can't.
Are you doing the crime report?
Crime report, sorry, do the crime report? You want the crime report read? Is there any problems with reading the crime report? Just to mention that we do have one officer here, and to my knowledge, the other two will be here.
He did visit the office today as well.
Okay.
So we're gonna drop-
No, I didn't know he was there, so go ahead.
Yeah, he did drop in and he left his card for council. I asked him once he was settled in, would he like to come into chambers and meet with council during the meeting? He said definitely. We sent him up an email and he'll let us know on the street. The two other officers will soon be on route.
What's his name in the courtroom?
Alexander is his name, Wright, I believe is his last name. Alexander Wright.
Anybody else got a copy that is not buried?
Yeah, I got electronic copy.
Well, you go ahead and read it, sir. Councillor Vincent, it's up to you.
Crimes report, nothing for February 2025. We got 4 person crimes, and that's 4 year to date. I guess they're all gonna be February. Property crimes, we got 8 in 8 year to date. Drugs, we got 1, and I don't know how you work this out, but we got 0 year to date. Off-road vehicles, 1. Traffic complaints, 4. 6 year to date. Mental health issue, 2, and there's 3 year to date. Alarms, 6, and 3 year to date. Impaired driving, 1. Others, 15. Total cost for service was 42. That's it.
Thank you, Councillor Benson.
0 tickets written.
Hopefully those numbers increase. New business, Councillor Howell, municipal symposium.
No, it didn't have to be addressed tonight because I.
Oh, yes, that's right.
I'm
Okay.
short getting it in.
All right, no problem.
You want for finance?
Yeah, defer to finance, and we'll see how many we're gonna send over. Isn't Deer Lake this year, I do believe?
No, Canada.
Yeah, the symposium is not the conference, because there's a symposium.
Yes, there's a spring symposium, yeah,
And
yeah,
in
yeah.
October, there's a big conference.
Big conference, yes. Alrighty, questions and concerns? There's no questions that came in, so we shall proceed to Councillor Gordon.
Alright, okay, I do apologize for the write-up on the bottom, it is incorrect, that's supposed to say monthly budget for March 2025 is sitting at, I believe I said 54%.
It's not on the due date.
Oh, that helps, I have, that's not mine. Well, I know.
Did it fall asleep?
I'm not sure. Maybe turn it off and turn
First
it
thing.
on. Is the cord still in there?
Yeah. I'll say it just timed out.
We've never had this issue.
No, it wasn't right.
Oh my gosh, I've never heard that noise.
We'll say it's both gone, but we just said it, they're up there, so.
Take the $1,200 we sold from the down over and buy it.
Put back in there? Your expertise in the
Yeah,
electronics,
there's buttons on both, well, first thing I do is remove the key off the computer, put it back in.
the actual one that does that?
That, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you unplug you, but
Okay.
I plug it back in again.
Let me see. Oh, here, reach up here, up.
No, you done that.
So the actual projector is not
No,
showing on the screen. Usually like it still shows.
Turn off the click. Oh, it's come back. Come on.
It might have gotten overheated maybe. It's awfully dark though.
No, she's coming in.
Alright. She was over here. Alright, she's slowly coming back. I do apologize, the bottom of this is supposed to say the monthly budget for March 2025, and I believe in the previous slide it said at 53 or 54%,
Yeah.
and for the month of March, and it is 13% overall. Was there any questions or anything on that?
Our snow clearing budget better be good, I tell you.
Well, we haven't had much snow.
I bought a snow blower once.
The 2025 revenue is actually sitting at 69% for the month of March. So we are higher in revenue than we are in expenses so far this year. Any questions? Okay. So there was a meeting held with Biosis and on architecture for the development at 10E and 10F under CMHC funding.
Just 1 second. For
Yeah.
those not familiar, 10E and 10F is located across from the high school, behind the cemetery and around that little loop there. All right,
This is
go ahead.
the development that we've partnered with under CMHC. So the meeting started off that they are heavily focused in social, local, and global when developing anything. They want to make sure that there's public spaces, there's movement for those that are in the area, there's well-being and comfort. They also make sure that it does the minimal damage to landscape and geography. They take into account the climate when they're doing these renderings, as well as the culture within our community. Globally, they make sure mobility, energy efficiency, circular economy. So this company like to also see if we're building something here, most of the products are coming here for economic growth. Sustainability and minimize the embodied carbon. The first thing that they presented were some graphs. So Biosis went through and they collected some key data in order to produce these renderings. Things such as temperatures, daylight, wind conditions, the bedrock in the area, preserved natural land, and the fire regulation requirements. They mapped out our coldest months, our warmest months, and our average temperature. They then proceeded to present when our highest winds are and what angle they come from. This will help with the actual development to make sure the wind is not on, I guess, your front yard, you could say. So they determined that during January, March, September, October, November, and December, the highest winds were westerly. Someone laugh? Is that right? And during June, I believe that says southeast. Some fishermen might be able to speak to that more than me. With that, and a topographical survey which we had completed under this project, they have determined the prime location for these dwellings that were put into tender. The commercial space will be on the main road, with the housing plateau number 1 and housing plateau number 2 being further down on the rock pediment. These properties will have complete view of the ocean with their windows. Here is an aerial view to show their layout. Do you guys have any questions yet?
So when do they figure this is gonna be available for tender?
It's anticipated first week of May. So the next process is they'll have actual clear renderings showing
Yeah.
the buildings. So,
A little bit,
Sorry.
a little bit off topic, but did the needs assessment get completed?
that's being worked on, so that's set to be done the first week of May as well. That's with Memorial University and housing, Newfoundland and Labrador housing, as well as the amendments required are being worked on. Everything is set to be finished by mid-May. The report, our annual report, actually went out today. The new initiative for this project has been included into that, so we should be getting our next advance by March 31st, is what they said on.
So, sorry,
Yeah.
when the tender goes out, will the needs assessment then be available to anybody that wants to tender?
Yes.
Alright.
That is the plan, because the common concern with the bedrock, contractors, really, it would have been a fortune to blast that out. And then the concern was if there was a housing needs assessment, so that's why we're trying to have all of it in one package, so they're aware. So with our tender, we put out specifications for 10 to 15 units and a commercial space. So phase 1 is based upon our tender. Phase 2 is based upon the potential for this funding project. With phase 1, you'll see coming from the main road is the commercial space. It will then go down through a roadway and access where there will be gardens and parking between the two buildings. All these buildings will have a view to the ocean, and your land is protected from the water. They are heavily focused on, or your land, sorry, has a view of the water. They are heavily focused on incorporating the land and not, if there is a certain type of plant or a fishing stage in that area, they are going to make sure that is kept there. So phase 2 of this, if there was an interested party, Biosis did this, this is not at an extra charge.
No.
They just seen the potential that was there. Phase 2 would be the other 10 to 15 units, which would then potentially, again, someone who's building this might wanna build like, they added in a nature center just to see if it would appease someone possibly with the development.
So is that ready by the ocean yet?
It is, just to show you here. So it doesn't go right to the ocean. So they also, in their plans and their renderings, there will be a completely accessible walking trail
Oh, okay.
that will lead from the commercial space and go down to the side of complex 1, and then go down to the remaining units and go right down by the water.
Nice.
I'm sure that's 26 people in their renderings. So, you'll see here that This is based on, they took pictures of the actual ground when they were out, and they proposed, now don't necessarily have to go with this, that the color should go, which should be more plain, and then your ground is what speaks to you. Now, council does not have to do that, and neither does that can be
Developer,
decided
no, I mean,
later.
that's up to the developer.
But that's just what they're basing, that what their images will show. Were there any questions on this meeting?
Sorry, I missed it.
Questions? No?
So they were up and walked around on it?
They were, yeah, we brought them to the site, they took pictures. So on architecture are local, they're in Newfoundland, and Biosis are actually in Denmark. So they, within our tender, I believe, I'd have to go back and look, there was 3 visits from Biosis. This will, I can forward all of this to you guys in email as well, so you're aware. So there will be another meeting with them. Would you guys like to be in attendance at the next meeting for the final, it'll be the final renderings. There will also be a 3D rendering of this that will be brought here and be able to be presented to interested parties.
Yeah, I guess anybody that's coming to look at it, they gotta come here anyway, so, yeah.
Stuff we would take away in the center.
Alright, so the Attic Arena ventilation project. So the scope of work is completed. I did forward it to all of your councillor emails, I received it today. It is a 930-page document, so it does take a little while to read. You'll notice that in order to fit this project within the, I guess, money allowance that we were approved for, that Dewar Bailey suggested we actually remove the main part ventilation, focus on the plant rooms and change rooms and all other areas first, because that's what you will likely get for the price budget. We are looking at other funding opportunities for the main area, but the plan is what they're proposing is the tender date will be March 27th, with the closing date April 17th, to award the contract on April 24th. Then the contractor on site June 2nd to start the summer.
So is that going to interfere with us utilizing the stadium and all
So
summer?
we can partition it off, so the ventilation's actually not in that area. So it's gonna be on the back wall with the change rooms and the back wall down there with the only thing is the tent is set up down there. We need to have access to the bathrooms and we can close off the other areas. I will check with OHS in that first, but my understanding is we can do that, but again, I'll check. And if maybe we have to ask the contractor for a couple of days, maybe to not perform work so we can do a crowd festival, but that's not a discussion you guys can have.
Weddings.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask
Yeah.
that.
So we have weddings and they're all booked in the tent. And then, again, we would have, if we're allowed, we would have either way to do an extension on our liquor license. You gotta have access to the building, because it's a liquor license within the Attic Arena. So we have to have a fenced walkway
Yeah.
leading to the tent. And in that fence, we're looking into if we can pretty much carry that on in and cut off at the bathrooms. So nobody can actually access the rest of the arena. And the project is happening on the back side of the building. We can, I guess, when we actually get to the point of this being awarded, that will be a conversation for you guys to have with the contractor.
And will it interfere with opening of the stadium on time?
I don't know yet. I can't.
It should be done.
So that's big questions for
Yeah.
whether, well, God open it.
It's going to
But-
tender.
But in the big area,
Yeah.
once our Zamboni gets to its light, or, we can look at electric ones, so that'll cut down.
Yeah, on the emissions.
And the emissions, right?
Yeah. So the annual report for this as well is March 31st. That we did an annual report where we requested funds for the roofing project. So now the next one that we can do request the funds for this is after March 31st. So as soon as, we'll have an idea after April 17th of what we would request, or we can request the full amount, because the full amount remaining is for this project. Anything else? Okay. So that is it for me.
And that's where the thing comes again.
Yes, unfortunately, folks, we gotta go to a private session to discuss the labor relations, so we'd ask everybody to